1. When teaching vibration analysis fundamentals to adult learners, which approach most effectively supports long-term retention? A. Memorizing frequency charts. B. Hands-on data collection paired with guided interpretation. C. Reviewing only theoretical equations. D. Using only lecture slides. 2. Which evaluation method best measures a technician's practical competency in vibration route execution? A. Multiple choice quiz. B. Observation during a simulated route with performance scoring. C. Asking them to define terminology. D. Reviewing attendance logs. 3. During mentoring of junior vibration analysts, what strategy strengthens diagnostic reasoning? A. Providing solutions immediately. B. Encouraging guided questioning and self-derived conclusions. C. Limiting access to case studies. D. Demonstrating only perfect data sets. 4. In curriculum development for a CVA training program, which element ensures skills align with industry demands? A. Eliminating real-world case studies. B. Mapping learning outcomes to ISO vibration standards. C. Focusing solely on advanced theory. D. Ignoring stakeholder input. 5. Which communication technique is most effective when presenting complex FFT data to cross-functional teams? Using highly technical jargon. B. Visual storytelling with simplified spectral annotations. C. Sending raw data without explanation. D. Speaking rapidly to cover more content. 6. Regulatory compliance in vibration data storage requires which practice? A. Deleting data after 1 week. B. Maintaining traceable historical records aligned with audit requirements. C. Allowing unrestricted editing of past data. Storing data only on personal devices. 7. What is the most valid assessment for determining readiness to diagnose misalignment? A. Written exam only. B. A case-based assessment requiring interpretation of axial vibration patterns. C. Oral questioning on definitions. D. Asking the learner to name tools. 8. Which adult learning method improves understanding of bearing fault frequencies? A. Reading a long technical document. B. Interactive fault simulation with incremental difficulty. C. Memorization drills. D. Avoiding hands-on experience. 9. When documenting a vibration finding, what communication approach enhances clarity for maintenance planners? A. Using vague descriptions. B. Including severity, supporting data, and recommended actions. C. Providing data alone without interpretation. D. Writing only in specialist terminology. 10. In mentoring a new analyst on spectral analysis, which technique encourages confidence? A. Criticizing errors immediately. B. Allowing practice with feedback loops and progressive challenges. Avoiding practical tasks. D. Removing decision-making opportunities. 11. Which evaluation measure best assesses a learner's ability to set alarm thresholds? A. Asking them to read the manual. B. Practical demonstration using real machine data. C. A theoretical essay. D. Watching a video tutorial. 12. What's the most effective instructional method for teaching resonance identification? A. Static diagrams only. B. Live demonstration of bump tests with real machinery. C. Memorizing mode shapes. D. Reading about resonance. 13. To ensure compliance with safety regulations during field measurements, analysts must A. Skip PPE if measurements are quick. B. Follow site procedures and document deviations. C. Work near rotating components without barriers. D. Ignore lockout-tagout protocols. 14. When developing a CVA course assessment plan, which component ensures fairness? A. Using only trick questions. B. Aligning assessment tasks with learning objectives. C. Changing grading criteria frequently. D. Allowing no practical evaluations. 15. Which communication method is most effective when discussing machine health risk with executives? A. Presenting overly detailed spectra. B. Using concise risk summaries tied to business impact. C. Sharing every raw data file. D. Using highly technical PowerPoint slides. 16. What mentoring strategy helps analysts reduce false alarms? A. Avoiding review of historical data. B. Teaching trend analysis through supervised practice. C. Encouraging immediate alarm changes. D. Ignoring environmental influences. 17. Which evaluation tool best validates a learner's ability to distinguish between looseness and imbalance? A. Asking them to compare two pictures. B. Providing mixed case data requiring pattern recognition. C. Quizzing on terminology. D. Giving them a list of definitions. 18. In training adults on waveform analysis, what method strengthens applied learning? A. Showing only perfect waveforms. B. Allowing learners to examine noisy, real-world signals. C. Reading a waveform glossary. D. Avoiding practical exercises. 19. In vibration program compliance, which documentation practice is essential? A. Recording corrective actions with timestamps. B. Discarding field notes. C. Only storing monthly summaries. D. Using untraceable personal files. 20. When presenting a corrective maintenance recommendation, the most effective communication includes A. A vague suggestion with no data. B. A clear explanation supported by vibration evidence and expected outcomes. C. Only historical data. D. A generic recommendation. 21. Which mentoring behavior builds analytical independence? A. Providing direct answers to every question. B. Encouraging hypothesis testing before feedback. C. Completing their assignments. D. Discouraging experimentation. 22. When building a CVA training curriculum, which factor enhances learner engagement? A. Real machine case studies integrated throughout modules. B. Avoiding hands-on component failures. C. Repeating the same theory slides. D. Removing discussion sections. 23. Which evaluation method ensures learners can identify bearing defects accurately? A. Matching terms to definitions. B. Interpreting real defect signatures across multiple datasets. C. Watching one training video. D. Taking a short vocabulary test. 24. What communication technique helps ensure technicians understand vibration alarm changes? A. Sending an unstructured email. B. Using a clear justification, data references, and impact details. C. Only updating the alarm without notice. D. Giving verbal instructions with no documentation. 25. When mentoring an analyst on time waveform analysis, which approach is most effective? A. Allowing trial and error followed by structured feedback. B. Avoiding coaching to promote independence. C. Giving only theoretical lectures. D. Criticizing mistakes without guidance. 26. Which evaluation tool measures competency in detecting cavitation from vibration data? A. Written explanation of cavitation. B. Identification of cavitation patterns in multiple FFT waveform sets. C. Memorizing pump terminology. D. Naming pump components. 27. Ensuring regulatory compliance within a vibration program includes A. Aligning procedures with ISO 10816-2816 standards. B. Allowing inconsistent measurement intervals. C. Ignoring calibration schedules. D. Skipping document control. 28. The most effective adult learning technique for teaching phase analysis is A. Lecture-only instruction. B. Hands-on phase readings combined with troubleshooting exercises. C. Glossary memorization. D. Avoiding practical demonstrations. 29. To reduce misinterpretation during cross-team communication, vibration reports should A. Contain only graphs with no conclusions. B. Use plain language summaries alongside data. C. Include unrelated technical detail. D. Remove actionable steps. 30. What mentoring approach improves an analyst's ability to diagnose gear mesh issues? A. Only showing them perfect gear signatures. B. Reviewing diverse fault cases with guided reasoning. C. Avoiding past case discussion. D. Letting them work without feedback. 31. In a CVA course, which instructional component best supports progressive skill development? A. Increasing complexity of real-world diagnostic tasks. B. Giving all the hardest tasks on day one. C. Teaching only theory for weeks. D. Excluding scenario-based learning. 32. Which evaluation technique best assesses mastery of fault severity classification? Asking for memorized severity levels. Reviewing their classification decisions across varied case datasets. C. A short multiple choice test. D. Asking them to list machine types. 33. Which communication approach is most effective during vibration program onboarding? A. Overloading new hires with data. B. Structured orientation with clear expectations, workflows, and examples. C. Allowing them to discover procedures independently. D. Providing minimal documentation. 34. When assessing the effectiveness of a vibration analysis mentoring program, which metric provides the most meaningful insight into learner growth? A. Number of hours spent in mentorship sessions. B. Improvement in diagnostic accuracy across progressively complex case studies. C. Total number of faults memorized. D. Frequency of informal conversations with the mentor.